Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, to our second channel, and welcome to the ALttPR Randomizer Crosskeys Tournament 2021. We are closing in on the final matches. This is the quarterfinals, and this is game 2 between dataplet and humbugh. Spoiler, game 1 went to humbugh. You will also see it on the layout now. Without further ado, because you just want to see the action, let's dive onto the layout. And let's give it to our beautiful commentary team, to Dr. Bob-tastic, doing a double feature, and to Frostbite 3030. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again, once again, to the Crosskeys Tournament. We've got dataplet versus humbugh here, and Frostbite 3030 joining me this time. Well, I don't want to curse it, but I don't think it can be any worse than the last seed.
I love that you're bringing that right up at the start, putting the fate in front of us. Huge shout out to Trez for the opening. I don't know how the dude, he sounds so calm in the pre-race. He's like, hey, what's going on, guys? And then he comes up just absolutely live. Love the dude. Love all he does for us. Looking forward to a great match between humbugh and dataplet. Two runners I love. Were they not teammates in the league? Am I totally making that up?
I honestly couldn't tell you, but it sounds right.
It's right until chat tells me I'm wrong, which they will do multiple times during this because I forget everything, apparently. And love the fact that we're getting varying starts right off the bat.
Alright, we got the big key of Desert Palace there in Link's house for dataplet, and we have a Dark World Sank, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this would be like maybe my third favorite starting point. Not a terrible one, but obviously I think we all like starting in CAC or something like that. Maybe a little bit better, but this is pretty decent.
I do love me a Dark World Sank. Gives me a chance to do some dumb bunny shenanigans, but everybody knows bunny shenanigans don't pay off until they do. And,
yeah, exactly. I feel like in a 1v1 race, if the bunny shenanigan play is the play and it beats me, I mean, within reason, maybe you check one door or something like that. I'm just going to take that L and be satisfied and not worry about it at all.
Well, alright then.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like humbugh just did that quick sank start, and now they're both following tracks up to the hula hand, which is, of course, a very, very popular opening in Crosskeys.
Yeah, because the fact... So the key sanity part, which, of course, you know, moves all the items around, puts many more dungeon items out in the world, and therefore puts more other items in the dungeons and a little less accessible, means that in general, the number of rupees at the start are going to be significantly lower, and so getting a guaranteed 225 rupees right off the bat makes things much easier on you, lets you take care of the bottle vendor, lets you take care of all the random things you might need, buy some bombs if you need to, and yeah, that's the sort of thing you want to come across. And it looks like dataplet has been purposely setting up for like a tier 2 tree pull here. He's been specifically killing enemies as he's going. He chucked a couple bushes at the jelly, or the choo-choo, outside of the potion shop a couple of times, actually. Killed the guards inside the uncle's tunnel there as well, and so that'll get you to 4 kills, and I believe he has taken damage. So that sets up the tier 2.
I like this. I've never actually seen anybody do this, at least, but it seems to make sense strategically when you think about it, because he's planning on coming up here to the castle right away, and he's going to be able to do that tier 2 in, and then he can kill a quick blue guard or something here and check that tier 1 if he wants to.
That's very, very true.
Always love this single rupee. Sorry, Bob.
So we got the Lumberjack Cave here at the drop down for Hyrule Castle, which has the red boomerang on it. I don't really expect dataplet to go out of his way for that one, but you never know. He is, however, going to go out of the way for this free bomb that he can use to chuck at these other guards and get that tier 1 tree pull. Meanwhile, humbugh checking the North Shore and finding the back of Super Bunny Cave. And the Moon Pearl at the main entrance of Hyrule Castle, just kind of sitting there. So, right off the bat, so much for those bunny shenanigans.
Yeah, and dataplet's just going to get dumped out here right away. Let's see if he chooses to explore a little bit. He has that pod money. It's kind of ugly to maybe go over there this early in a seed, but, you know, it's also, you know, It's dataplet, right? He does stuff. He's a memer.
It's not outside the realm of possibility. It's the sort of thing I would do occasionally.
I think I might do it right here too, because a lot of people do what Humbugh's done here, and they start with that Houlihan to Eastern play. I'm more of a fan of the Houlihan to the Castle play myself, but obviously they both have merit. But I would be trying to leverage this early thing and say, maybe I'll get lucky. And you just hope that Pod's nothing and the rest of them aren't that bad to get back to.
Yeah.
It's like dueling Eastern, Dark World versus Light World. Who will get the better payoff? And we all know it's probably going to be nothing, but...
Alright, so Humbug has found the chicken hut there, but is, devoid of explosives, so will be unable to acquire the item.
Yeah, and that's in kind of an
devoid of explosives.
Yeah, exactly. And those are both kind of annoying spots to come back to, too, especially if you don't have any other, primary reason to come back to check that.
Alright, so Eastern is the Spiral Cave, and Humbug is going to step out for now, because, first of all, nobody wants to try to traverse Spiral Cave on 2 hearts and green mail with no weapon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's theoretically possible, and if you have 20 hearts, it's likely even, but not when you have 2 hearts.
Yeah. I believe even the logic expects you to have a pearl and a weapon of some kind. Or, at least be able to get through there with bombs. Like, a pearl if you're in the Dark World.
Yeah, it doesn't force you to bunny walk through. I think you may be right on that.
Alright, so Humbug is now headed west toward Kakariko Village, while dataplet is going to look at the pod entrance.
I don't know if I've ever seen an earlier pod entrance play in a Crosskeys seed, ever.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say exactly the same thing. And we get a connector here, so who the heck knows what that's going to do. Humbug getting very unlucky with the 50-50 bomb drops here, and then he finally gets 2 on the second one. The desert main entrance. There you go. Well, at least you know the book isn't blocking that entrance now.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's a really terrible spot to get stuck to. Although I guess it's not actually bad, because the other side of that connector is pretty awful too.
So dataplet is going back to the fake flipper here.
I'm also intrigued to see what he's doing. He must be just going over atop of the North World. Did he forget to check this? He thinks he forgot to check it, and he goes back and looks, I think is what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, even the best of our runners, at this point you've done so many seeds, you can't remember what you've checked and what you haven't.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. If you are actually worried that you might have missed it, it's better to put it off now than find out you skipped the boots at 90 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. All right, so we've got our vanilla boots, or not vanilla boots, vanilla bat. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, hopefully it's not vanilla boots. That would be too cruel to our runners, I feel. I want to see them start going fast.
And let us go see what's going on with the lumberjack on dataplet's screen. Ooh, Rupee Crab handing out the bombs today.
Yeah, very generous.
And Sick Kid got locked in a bomb shed. I guess that's why he's sick. Stale air, all that mess.
Makes sense.
Carbon dioxide poisoning.
People were blaming the mountain, but it was always the closed shed all the time. And dataplet's making an early dive into Desert Palace.
Yep, found that up at the lumberjack house. That was the main entrance, so there's a couple of other entrances we can check while we're at it. Or dataplet could just turn around and do nothing, but who knows?
Yeah, and they found that big key early, so going in here to check it, you think this was in Link's house. It's probably important, right?
Yeah, and you can see dataplet taking some damage there. I expect him to leave through the door he came in. Hey, 300 rupees, not going to argue with that.
Yeah, exactly. You're not jumping out of your seat, but it's like, I'll take it. Very not bad. Better to have it than not.
Quarantine house is an accurate description. Hey, guess what we get to do again? There's Ganon at the Lumberjack. Again. So guess who's doing Aga Tower today? Both of us. Both of our runners.
Yeah, that's a nice Ice Palace find in the north of Lost Woods there. I personally hate to see Ice Palace early in the scenes, because then you figure, oh my god, am I going to get a Fire Rod next and have to make a choice about going in here sub half hour?
Anytime the seed delivers me Ice Palace access, but I don't have the hammer or glove, I'm just like, come on, game.
Yeah, exactly. You might hope to find one of them in there, but both of them, that's just evil. That's never going to happen, right?
We got the small key to Thieves Town there in the well drop down, I imagine. See that pretty soon. There was a big key there in the actual well.
Yeah, that was the pod big key, and dataplet also found the cape in there as well. So those are some marginally effective items, but again, you'd like to have them and not look for them later. The pod big key is better than that, I should say, maybe. But the cape, it's like, are they going to find Bumper Cave super early and that's what they're supposed to do? Is it Spike Cave early, or is it just annoyingly nothing?
And we have two separate entrances of Turtle Rock at the exact same time. And they're going to trade entrances. Or not really.
Nope, dataplet's tricking us up. But all in all, they haven't, other than that Moon Pearl, they haven't really found much in this whole CAC sweep.
I was going to say, from dataplet here, with the 400 some odd rupees he has, I would be surprised if he didn't go ahead and shell out for an extra bomb and arrow upgrade here.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the bomb upgrade. I'm a huge fan of buying that, at least early. And maybe I'm not going to go in there, with 18 hearts and, at a game like someone I know, but...
And I mean, dataplet doesn't know... dataplet doesn't know this, but the archery game is trans-dimensional today. It's like right where it would be in the light world. And so you can definitely pick up all the money you need there. All right, so we're gonna get the chain chomp chest here, which is a chest that is in logic if you have logical access to either of the middle entrances of Turtle Rock here. With 0 keys, you could just go get it.
Oof. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate from dataplet there. We'll see if he returns to it.
Yeah, you do need Cane or Hook to get in from the big chest, which is why I said logical access, just to kind of cover that base, but yeah.
Yeah, they really are. There aren't that many spots left, so dataplet's thinking this might be important. I'm not sure I would have had the patience or frustration to go back in there after dying. I'm more of a I'm leaving you now spot type of guy.
Yeah, I can see myself getting extremely salty and not wanting to come back.
Well, especially since I don't like doing this room with bombs. It's slow, it's dangerous, you can't take a single hit.
Pulling out the cape strats just in case. I like it.
Yeah, same. Why take the chance? That little amount of magic's not going to be devastating this early. Finding those 10 arrows after the second trip in might be a little devastating, but he's got that check over with at least. A lot of people have been burned by that in many a seed.
Right, so Humbugh is taking a connector through desert. Gonna find the mountain here. Sounds pretty good to me.
This feels like it's going to have something.
Yeah,
What a brilliant call.
A million entrances up here. And what do you know? There's Mimic Cave. And do we have a hammer? Of course not. We just found Mimic Cave. What do you expect? You expect to have the hammer when you find it? You kidding me?
Literally never.
Alright, we've got Dark Room. This is likely to be the Old Man Rescue, as the Old Man Rescue is guaranteed to be in one of these West Death Mountain entrances.
Yeah, it definitely is, I think. I thought for a second it was the drop down based on what I saw, but obviously it's a little bit less convenient not having a sword or maybe a boomerang to navigate. Humbugh made very a good use of those bombs in the first half.
Yeah. This is one of the few entrances where people have generally practiced it enough to be able to do it without a sword or any other real anything else to really light your way.
Yeah, especially if you're getting sort of deep into cross keys, it's definitely something you wanna be able to do. It can be very advantageous.
I actually really like Humbugh's awareness, just popping into the old man's hut for sort of, I guess, a refill on hearts.
Yeah, it's like, is it that much slower than walking into a fairy cave and listening to them blab? But I completely agree. Better safe than sorry. And it's like clockwork. You go in and take those hearts and you know you're going to have a clean, easy walk through there. But when it doesn't turn out that way and you make the gamble on 2, that's when, and it's so painful to get back here. I completely love that play.
Did I detect a hint of Canada in your voice?
Yes, dude, of course.
All right. I mean, that explains the name.
Exactly. Nice sword up on the Spectacle Rock there, too.
Hey, welcome everybody coming in from ZSR. I'm assuming there was some sort of Zooter thing going on there, but I don't know for sure. Maybe it was, I don't know what was going on over there, but welcome to the Crosskeys ridiculousness.
These guys just keep dying all the time. Can we, like, are we sure these guys made it this far? Of course, doing it on purpose, but that's just sort of stinks early in Crosskeys. Not only do you want the mirror because it stops you from having to do this sort of stuff, which they're both doing very effectively, pre-setting it up, not wasting a lot of time after they've done whatever they want to do, setting up the Death Warp, but also seeing that sword, it's like, am I going to get the mirror in the next hour, please? Let's start this game up.
Yeah, so the schedule is posted there, but at the moment I don't think it will tell you much more information because this is actually the last game that is scheduled. There was one scheduled for tomorrow, but that was rendered moot by the previous result. But if this one goes to dataplet, then there will be another match between these two at some point. We just don't have it scheduled yet. Meanwhile, dataplet has located Hyrule Castle and is going to go get the items within. Now, this is an interesting situation because we don't have the Hyrule Castle small key. We know that the back of escape, if you're going to go in there the other way, is behind GT. So the question is, after you pick up this next chest, do you scum the key?
I have no idea what I would do right here. I think I probably wouldn't. But I also...
He's taking a lot of damage here on purpose, so...
Yeah, it looks like he's thinking about it for sure.
Alright. I think he's just setting up to Death Warp out when he's finished at the bottom. So I'm gonna defer to Frostbite's pronunciation of dataplet because he probably knows him a little better.
Well, the problem is dataplet's like I have no idea. I'll probably call him dataplet and dataplet in the same sentence as well. He's a notorious no mic guy. So of all the people in the community, I don't think I've ever heard him speak. I don't think I've done multi-worlds and stuff with him where he's in chat, but he's generally a silent guy. So I feel like that just gives us the right to say whatever we want if he's not going to correct us, correct?
You're probably right. I'm just going to say dataplet.
Yeah, exactly. How ridiculous can it get? How many beers have I drunk? 0. Oh, I'm probably not that bad then. Okay,
right, so Humbugh finally picks up the Moon Pearl. So there's that.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot he didn't have it. I was just under assumption they were sort of at the same spot, but they weren't because he didn't have that yet. His menu must have been looking really dry. But this seed, you'd like to have something by this point that tells you where you would need to go, and they really haven't found much of anything yet.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of jack squat.
It definitely feels like they're going to need to find, they both, I don't think dataplet explored Hyrule Castle fully there. I think they still have some of those Desert Palace doors on the open, but I think dataplet might have checked, Humbugh might have checked one of them. It feels like they're going to have to go through a... Oh, wow!
There we go.
That's a good find. I didn't even see where the dam was.
I think I vaguely remember the dam happening, but finding that item at the Sunken Treasure location... Yeah, it was in West Death Mountain, apparently.
Okay, yeah, I figured it was there.
But finding those boots there, that's a huge deal. That immediately grants us access to 2 more entrances here just in the Light World.
Yeah, and again, because they found so little, you wonder, are they going to find, something gross like Misery Mire in one of these few doors and have to dip in there? It feels like, oh, there's a nice connector to the top of a Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. I mean, it is sort of out of logic. I believe that was just the old man's starting point, so...
Oh, you're right, yeah.
But, I mean, you're not really concerned about that, but you would... If you were looking for the lamp, then you'd know... not to worry about that. Or not
exactly.
Expect it over here. Here's our laser bridge. We've got the boots this time, so that should make these skips fairly academic.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It'll be the seed where we're waiting to get a sword to do Agate Tower, not any of the garbage items like you often are.
Alright, so Turtle Rock Laser Bridge taken care of there. And just some shop there next door.
It looks like Humbugh's going to check the back door of the Old Man Cave. Always a good thing to not forget about.
There is a back door.
Yeah, I feel like everyone gets burned by that once, for sure, when they start playing Crosskeys.
Yeah. You know what my most common burn is? There is an item in Spiral Cave. It's like, wait, I already found the other end of that connector. I don't need to go in. Oh, wait.
I feel like my number one is finding one of the doors at TR and refusing to check Chain Chomp chest. It just, I don't know what it is. I check a lot of other things, but that just, it bothers me, and I've been burned by it so many times.
Well, we got Mire Shed up here on top of Hyrule Castle. But nothing really to write home about. There's a small key on the floating island, which we know how to get to the floating island. We just don't know, we just don't have the mirror in hand.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up being important or not. Looks like Humbugh's going to go back over to the Eastern Palace area, or the Dark Eastern Palace area, the pod area, and dataplet finds one of the best locations in the game. What is this called? Paradox Cave? That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
In my head, I just call it the 7-item cave, but I know it has a real name.
Yeah, so... Yeah. Paradox Cave, in my mind, equates to 7 items, because that's what my brain actually cares about. But, it's called Paradox Cave because in the original game, the internal geometry does not match the external geometry.
Yeah, exactly. And it might be the only time that really happens in the game, too, which makes it so intriguing.
Yeah, real nice call from dataplet here, because some people don't realize this. There is a shop in Paradox Cave in which you can purchase bombs. And when you're low on bombs, that's pretty good use of your time. And
yeah, the only caveat, of course, it does require one bomb to be able to buy more bombs.
Right. All right, so Humbug is heading into Hookshot Cave, taking care of some of these checks here. He is not going to attempt to hover to the remaining items.
Dataplet pulled one good item out of that 7-item cave. It was a power glove, I believe, in the third chest. And Humbug finds Hype Cave. They're just getting all the item locations you want to find out in a row now.
Whoa, Fire Rod and a bottle inside of Hype Cave for Humbug sounds real good right about now.
Yeah, that's the first weapon I think we've seen. It looks like Humbug did pick up that red boomerang. But other than that... Of course, they also did find Ice Palace earlier, too, so maybe it's not necessarily the one you wanted to find. But...
Uh-oh. So Humbug is heading to the pod area for the first time. One thing that Humbug will be able to do is inside this location right over here, I guess he's going to the cave near 5 first. But inside the dark Sahasrala's hut, you'll be able to open the connector there with the bomb, or I guess you could just bonk it.
Yeah, he's got double access now.
Now, if he goes over here to the pod entrance, if he knows, if he decides to follow the connector, at least he will be able to go back through the connector. I believe it was a two-way connector. It's a Fairy Ascension Cave.
Yeah, he might just save quit out of that and start at the pyramid again. I'm not sure what's faster.
So Dataplet located Aga Tower there on East Death Mountain and elected, well, I guess he's going in now. This is a heck of a play to make with just bombs.
Yeah, I don't even know what maybe this is just something you can do and just double them up here. I've never tried this before. He seems to look confident and know what he's doing.
Yeah.
That was very clean. I'm going to steal that.
Oh, and it
500%.
drops bombs. Nice.
Very nice.
And then in the next room, it only takes 2 bombs to take down these guys. Just using some intentional damage strats to get rid of them. And it's garbage.
Yeah, definitely not like that was really that was really impressive. I've never really tried that with bombs like that, and that was very clean and didn't take that long.
Yeah, I mean I've done that room with bombs before, but it wasn't nearly that pretty.
Yeah, same. It's just a mess, and I'm hoping not to die or run out of bombs.
And you see, this is what happens when you get, runners who have done this forever and have been actually practicing. They come up with strats for rooms that you would never even think to come up with strats for. Humbug has located the first sword here, inside the chicken hut that he was unable to check earlier because of the lack of bombs.
Yeah, we'll see how long it takes Data to get over there, because that could be a very big difference maker for the interim period.
So I guess he's going to go through Spiral Cave now. That would be my guess.
And it looks like the answer to that question is he'll have it for like 2 minutes before Dataplet gets it.
Yeah, if that. Because here comes Dataplet.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to say 1 minute, but I feel like whenever I estimate how long things take in this game, I either think they're way too short or way too long, and I just totally second guess myself there.
I do tend to I do tend to Scotty estimate things. If anybody doesn't know what that is, that's a Star Trek reference. Where, Scotty says he always tells Captain Kirk it'll take twice as long as it actually will.
Yeah.
Because Captain Kirk will always say you have half the time.
Did Humbug check that bonk rock spot, or like the bonk spot behind Link's house? I don't know if he did that or not earlier. I feel like he must have. He just ran past it, sort of.
So he did check it, we just don't know.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Awesome. There's a good chance I stared right at him and watched him do it, and it was nothing, and I just forgot in the past, 10 minutes or whatever.
So dataplet found the spiral cave there and elected to peace out, but I can understand why, because he hasn't checked this other entrance down here. And the fact that he has the glove means he can get back up to the spiral cave if he needs to pretty quick.
Yeah, and maybe you'll just hope that it's not important, which of course we know it's not. And then you can flute over there.
It is Bumper Cave.
Oh yeah,
which he can go through because of that cape. So dueling connectors here.
I'm always a fan of checking connectors that are logically locked early when you've gotten the thing that lets you through them, which basically means I like checking Bumper Cave early when I have a cape.
Fair enough. And turns out not that important.
Yeah, unlikely to be required since dataplet has already found another way to the top of the mountain and drop down and check the light side world of that particular door. I wonder if this is a play just go right back for Spiral Cave. I bet it might be.
Yeah, I imagine. See, when I said the words dueling connectors, what my brain thought of is two plugs with banjos and guitars, just playing do 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 do. Anyway,
as soon as you said the word connectors, I pictured two people with twirly mustaches and swords fencing each other, and I mean two plugs, but
fair enough.
Oh, they both got rejected from their first bomb jump attempt across Paradox Cave. That's not really due to any fault of their own, but picking up one of the items in there can really affect your bomb jump trajectory.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing that screws you up in Hera.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. There's something to do with I think it's the enemy number 1, which I think usually ends up being somewhere in the top left corner. And basically, if you pick the item up before it has a chance to settle on the ground, your bomb jump trajectories just get real borked.
Yeah. I actually kind of want to know which of the 3 mini Moldorms in Paradox Cave is the one that drops it that the game cares about.
I'm pretty sure it's the one on the left-hand side.
All right.
So dataplet
you don't want to know how my brain works.
dataplet taking advantage of this glove, one of the few item locking locations we haven't seen yet, to get these 2 terrible checks out of the way early. I mean, this cave's not that terrible, but he's obviously going to go to Catfish after this.
Well, there's another place to farm money, but we've already found the most efficient place to farm money, if you need it, which is that good old archery game.
Love me the archery game. Big fan of Inverted. That got me hooked on the archery game. I always love finding it early and just having those money considerations out of the way. It's always nice to just get to 500.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, it's Catfish time. I love the love like the Japanese folklore reference here.
Yeah.
Catfish. In the the legend of the catfish that causes earthquakes.
Yeah, I definitely learned about that legend from this game. I don't know when I picked it up or anything like that, but I definitely somehow knew that.
All right, so Humbugh has located Ganon's tower, pulled a small key to Ice Palace out of the right-hand side. We don't have a hammer, nor do we have a Cane of Samaria, so we're not going to be doing a whole lot in this dungeon. But again, you remember that Ice Palace thing we were talking about?
Yeah, exactly. They I mean, I'm obviously not tracking how many connectors they have left, but they've checked a bunch of them recently, and what dataplet's doing right now is, I think, is very smart. He's going to get this horrible location out of the way in the Dark Ice Ride Cave area, I guess the Dark Shopping Mall, as it's colloquially known as, but it's obviously not in logic without the flippers, and that's some angry zero action.
That was a close call there on dataplet's side.
Yeah, I wasn't sure he was going to make it out of that water at all. He did. That was very nice. I mean, obviously he has enough health to survive. It's even worse when you get out and then die after you get on the land. But that was super, super scary.
But I mean, if you get hit before you get out of the water, you're dead. You're done.
It's over. It's
You're
over.
out.
Exactly.
That was Eastern Palace.
A lovely spot for Eastern Palace to be. I mean, I feel like you have to go in it. Oh, did he just jump off there?
It's possible, but then he fell in a hole.
No, he didn't. You're right. Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, maybe it's. But it's hard to gauge up when you're not doing it. But yeah, he's going into Eastern here. This is a rough location to get back to. I feel like you basically have to dive any dungeon you find here and to see what's in it.
Yeah. Even if you can't complete it, and trust me, you can't.
Yeah, there's this.
Unless, of course, we find both the Eastern Big Key and the bow in here, which would be just completely, nearly impossible for this.
Yeah, it feels impossible. I mean, it's not that vanilla. Hopefully, even having one of them in here would be pretty awful. I guess with where it is though, it's not like you're gonna find it. I feel like you just have to go in. It's so long to get back here. You don't want to leave something like your hammer in here for an hour. Even though obviously it's not in logic yet, it's only one item away.
10 arrows in the right side chest, the map chest, as the case may be.
And Humbugh finding a new pathway to open up another block in the world over here on the western side of the Dark World now.
Aha. Yep. Finding your way over here is always, a rite of passage through the seed. We've got our good old-fashioned murder dactyls headed for your face.
Right off the bat, angry and coming at you. And this kind of seems like where the answer might be, because they've checked a lot of the world, and this opens a good number of doors, a few one-off key items down at the bottom. There's my Final Fantasy terms coming in, key items.
Oh, I didn't even see what that was in Inspector Garrote Cave.
I was looking at it and I missed it. It wasn't even like I was glancing at dataplet's screen.
Yeah, I was looking straight at it and I couldn't tell what it was.
Okay, I'm glad. It wasn't just me.
And our trackers are equally perplexed.
I love it. I love that we don't know. Maybe it's important, maybe it's not.
It was red, I think. Otherwise it wouldn't have blended in. But if it was like the red cane...
Oh, yeah. I hope it's nothing, and dataplet also checks it really quick, and then they know it's nothing, and we never find out. Okay. So
I guess that dark connector is the way to get over there. Because those are the flippers in what is otherwise a absolutely flipper-locked location, so... We could say for sure that the lamp is not behind the flippers.
Yes, exactly. More than one way, and when you find something like that, it just kind of breaks your brain because you're kind of prepared. At least when I'm playing, I'm thinking about things I might find and how it'll affect my upcoming routes. You definitely aren't thinking about finding the flippers in that spot.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Now, dataplet's probably not really that worried about finding the lamp unless it's the only fire source they're going to have to get, say, the fire rod or something like that.
Yeah, we know that. Humbugh found the fire rod somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but so that theoretic... Oh, big key to Turtle Rock's decent to have as well. We did find that... I think we found the western entrance.
Well, we just... Humbugh just found the eastern one over at the Bumper Cave entrance.
Nice, nice.
So, and it is possible to bomb jump to that big chest. Or you could... if dataplet ever gets those boots, we could attempt to hover or something. But it is very possible to bomb jump that. It's a little awkward, and it's a little similar to the Spectacle Rock bomb jump. Speaking of hot garbage, there's the big key to Eastern in Skull Woods. So just popping right up.
Yeah, we'll see if that could be very rude for dataplet if there's something important in that, because of course you're super happy about finding the flippers, and now you'll find the Eastern Palace big key and be like, oh man, I really don't have to go back there, right, game? I mean, I know I'm gonna have to go back there, but please give me both of the things before that.
Yeah, give me a bow, please. Give me my archery implements.
Okay, and unsurprisingly, Humbugh making his way down into the village, finding Sahasrara's closet.
I just looked over and completely spaced on what that said.
It was TR was the green pendant, so that's either hit or miss. Sometimes it feels like you always complete TR just because there's so many items in it, but it's also nice to not have to find all the items required to beat that level as well. Maybe.
So dataplet is now on Death Mountain in the Dark World, going to find that fire rod.
Another dark cave here. That looked to me like it was the angled side of the Dark Death Mountain descent, which I think is the logical access to that other one in the Dark Ice Rod Cave area.
I don't think it could be anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Humbugh is going to make the dip into Misery Mire here. Has one key, which doesn't really play into the logic until you get all three, but it's pretty useful for routing purposes.
Yeah, for sure. He's also got that fire source, so he can check those two chests on the left side. You hate finding Mire with no fire source and having to make a call. Like you find it late with not a few things. Do I have to go in here for the 4 items? That feels rough. And I feel like whenever I find boots, Mire is one of those things I'm suspicious of the whole time because I have forgotten about the fact that boots get you into Mire many a times while playing Crosskeys before.
Yeah, and when you find the boots early, the hookshot's always in here. That's the rule, right?
Exactly, and it's not like you forget about it, because obviously I know the boots get you in there, but it's just not a play that's in the top of my mind when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next.
Right.
Yeah, and it's always interesting when you find something on this left side that's important, because you think, well, no, I'm going to be finding those Mire keys at some point, and then it seems like you finish without finding any more of them, and you just are totally confused.
Alright, dataplet has located Ganon's Tower as well, and is just as locked out as Humbugh was. For those of you keeping score, Ganon's Tower was at the lift rock in the southwest corner. I call that the Canyon Lift Rock.
I think I call it the Desert Lift Rock, even though it's not really near desert. That's how I have it in my brain. But Humbugh did find the Thieves' Town Big Key in the cutscene chest in Mystery Mire, and Thieves Town is a crystal. So those Mire keys logically required. Hopefully this dip in here, maybe not logically required first time. Maybe dataplet can get in here one time, but he's got to be happy finding that Thieves Town big key there. Oh, he does. I always do that too. I go south, forgetting I don't have the big key, turn around, run up to the north, loving this play.
Yeah, I mean, it's accurate.
I give him credit. He stopped way quicker than I do. I'm normally like all the way across on the right-hand side. Wow!
There we go. Mirror in Misery Mire, and that is going to be a huge deal for Humbugh. Once again, those boots just giving Humbugh everything he needs.
Yeah, for sure. And you did mention that the hook shot is going to be behind the boots behind the boots in Mire. Of course, the crueler version is when the hook shot is behind an item like the mirror in Mire, because the mirror is obviously, I feel like it's the most valuable item in Crosskeys.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I agree. I don't even think it's
it's not close.
Yeah, okay, we're on the same page then. I know some people will say boots. Hey, everyone loves the boots. You save more time with the mirror, and it's not even close. And it's not as frustrating either. It seems where you do everything and find the mirror late and then have to go to those one-off mirror spots. They just kind of stink.
All right, back of the brother's house turns out to be the back of the elder house. And let's see where that goes.
Is this like kind of vanilla? Like it's the same shape? Oh, wow. Humbugh making all the plays. Top of Bumper Rock. You love to find this connector.
The key up there, not particularly necessary, but the logic cares. And that is the back of Desert Palace, which we don't have...
Yeah, Humbugh, they have the big key. They have a fire source. He's going to do this right now.
We do have the ability to complete it. We don't have the logical access, but that's fine. And dataplet has somehow stumbled upon Thieves Town while I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I was so blown away by this mirror into Bumper Cave into Desert Palace that I was definitely caught staring at that. Thieves Town, unfortunately, he doesn't have the big key yet because he hasn't found those boots yet down on the sunken item.
Yeah, he's got to get himself up to West Death Mountain, and we know that the only way up there is back through Desert, one of the connectors there. Or if you could find the other end of the old man's cave, I guess.
Yeah.
But I doubt that. Hey, the Swamp Small Key for dataplet. We know where Swamp is. That's over at Dark 5 in my head.
I believe you're correct, and we found the dam already, obviously. At least Humbugh has, so that's in play for him. Will it be a rude seed where you have to go in there before you find the hammer or the hook shot? Hopefully not for our runner's sake, but we can hope.
Yeah. I mean, going in without the hammer is not that bad. Especially, I find double dipping Swamp in Crosskeys is not nearly as bad as it is in other seeds because, the dam stays open, so you don't have to do the mirror thing all the time.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct in that. The only problem in this spot is that neither one of these runners is going to want to make that trip back to Flute 5 Dark Cave if they don't have the hammer, right? They're going to want to go in through the Dark World there. But yeah, I feel like that's a really good point just in general, that I think people overestimate the length of time double dipping almost every dungeon takes in Crosskeys, because in the vanilla game, the dungeons are basically all in trash spots that take sort of a long time to get to. But in Crosskeys, a lot of times they're not, and you're not losing that much time going back through an Eastern Palace or even something like Misery Mire, and I think people probably skip checking dungeon items early if they can't complete them, more than I at least feel comfortable doing.
And speaking of double dipping, dataplet has decided to go into good old Ice Palace here without the hammer. So unless the hammer's in here, we're going to have a double dip situation on our hands.
Yeah, exactly. This is sort of unfortunate for him because you totally get what he's doing, right? We know he's got to go back to a spot and get those boots, but looking for a connector, or going back to check one door or whatever he's left up there, it always kind of stinks. And so he's going to go to a spot where he knows there's items to be found.
And now, if you're not going to the boss here, and you don't have the cane or whatnot, there's no real reason to do the bomb jump here. Though I guess he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I feel like this is a hedge just in case you find the hammer.
Yeah.
But yeah, also maybe like I don't, with of course with Icebreaker, just getting some bomb jump practice in every now and then isn't that bad. I actually forgot how to do the Ice Palace bomb jump like 2 weeks ago. It was hilarious.
Oh. Yeah, it is not every day you get to see the old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jump.
Honestly, you know what it was like? It was like if you've ever, this happened to me one time, I had the ATM code forever and I just went to a store one day and I couldn't remember what my ATM code was. That was what it felt like forgetting how to do the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah.
Or maybe that only happens to me because my brain is not functional.
I understand how that works. I'm not saying it happens to me often, but it's not that it hasn't happened.
Yeah, it's weird. Brains, man. It's like we have no idea how they work. At least at the finest level of detail. Let's see. Of course, Humbugh is going to have to leave this wonderful check of the Thieves' Town big chest behind.
Speaking of leaving big chests behind.
Yeah, dueling big chests, awfulness. But I feel like when you have the logical access to the back with the small key, because of course that means the hammer can be on blind or behind blind or wherever back there, right? I feel like you have to complete the dungeon, right? Like this is a play everyone's making.
The hammer could, as you said, very well be here or later, so you just got to deal with it.
That was a really awesome blind fight by Humbugh. It's always like how much of blind is still left in the dark when you finish. That's how I like to judge how they go. For me, it's like always.
Alright, so a small key to pod for Humbugh, and that's it for Ice Palace for dataplet as well. He's going to go ahead and death warp out. Not really anything of consequence in there either.
No, that was unfortunate. You just hoping that, because I feel like Humbugh has a fairly significant advantage at this point. Obviously, that means nothing in Crosskeys necessarily, but he's had those boots for a while. He's got the mirror. He's made the mire dip. dataplet has to. I think it feels like he almost has to do all of those things fairly soon. He is making that play back through desert, though.
All right, so he's eventually going to get to those boots. He's going to get the dam check while he's over here, and various things. Meanwhile, Humbugh will be heading west to check out the village area.
Yeah, I feel like he checked a couple of these doors already.
Yeah. Alright, we're going for Skull Woods.
I like this. It's aggressive. I'm always a fan of completing dungeons that are sort of logically available when you can.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got that half magic, which makes this fight a lot more comfortable. And, I'm not going to say free, but with runners of this level, they've done a lot of practicing of this moth fight. I know both of these guys play inverted, which I feel like if you play that a lot, you've done some horrible moth fights and then said, I'm not dying to that again. Let's go practice this for an hour or so.
Yeah. I mean, I tend I've told this story a few times, but the worst moth fight I ever had was in AA's Plando. You ever seen that? Where he designed it to where you had to do cane moth.
I've never played it or seen it, but it's so legendary that I'm aware of it.
Yeah. However, it was designed before people knew how to sequence break Zoraledge, and he has a sword on Zoraledge, so you can actually do that now.
Oh, so it's, we've been able to bust the Plando. I love it. I love it. I think I've had to do cane moth once in a swordless seed, which was horrible. And I've also had to do, I believe, hammer Vitreous at that spot in a swordless Randomizer seed as well. But that spot stinks. And Humbugh made that moth fight look incredibly easy. He didn't bounce a single shot. I think he went 8 for 8 on hits. That was very impressive.
And you mentioned Vitreous. The Vitreous in that seed, that one was bombs and 5 arrows for Vitreous. It was great.
That sounds awful. I might actually see about playing this thing, although I'm not generally... I like faster modes. Not that Crosskeys is a fast mode, but what you generally end up with in Crosskeys is an OP Link character by the end of the seed.
And the weird thing about AA's Plando is it technically qualifies as simple entrance shuffle.
Nice.
Anyway, so enough about that. We've got stuff happening on both ends of the screen. The dam finally found by dataplet, which will eventually lead him to that wonderful, wonderful pair of boots, which will eventually lead to the mirror. Which now that I think about it, we just saw the sword up there on Spectacle Rock. I wonder when Humbugh is going to get back up there to get that.
I'm hoping that we can see that sword in all 4 of its forms today somehow. We've already seen it as a fighter sword. Just saw it as a master sword.
So you're wanting Humbugh to find another sword before he goes up to get it.
And then somehow dataplet finds 2 more before he goes up to get it. Feels very unlikely, but we can hope. This is a nice find for Humbugh. Pod, I believe that was the potion shop next to Lake Hylia in the Dark World where he found this. Always love to find Pod. This feels super spicy. I bet he's probably going to sequence break the right side. I could be wrong about that, but he has a bottle. And I'm pretty sure it had a potion in it.
Yeah. And I mean, some people are proficient with the Mimic Clip as well, so even if it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. I bet he can do it. I would be surprised if he wasn't capable of doing it. I mean, I feel like if I can do a trick and I can do Mimic Clip, but I'm horrible at it and it takes a long time, I just assume everyone who's better than me can do it. Even though obviously that's not necessarily the case.
It's like, yeah, I can do Mimic Clip, but again, it takes a hot minute.
Yeah,
and by that I mean like probably 2 or 3 minutes. Never mind. How about we just get the bow? How about we just get the bow right here and render this entire conversation moot?
You can still Mimic Clip. It would be a bold swag strat, but I mean, my buddy Lin can Mimic Clip almost as fast as using the dang bow takes. So
yeah, I do not know how you bufferless Mimic Clip like that. That's my.
Yeah, exactly.
Words for that.
Exactly. He's talked to me about it before, and I've watched him, and it's just like, nah, there's no way I can do this. My controller's crap. I play on emulator, dude. This is a pipe dream.
Yeah. I will say, a lot of these tricks that require some real, like, precise frame manipulation tricks, like the hovering tricks and things like that, they're much easier on official hardware because that is a very consistent clock.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I don't know. I mean, obviously I feel like I could probably get a regular SNES controller and use it on my computer, but just my controller sucks, man, and I'm just cheap and lazy and haven't gotten a better one.
I got the single arrow in the big chest of pod.
Really clean, really nice. That bow still makes me laugh. I don't know if anyone else has ever done this, where you go in early and you're like, I haven't mimic clipped in a while, so I'm going to mimic clip, and then you do it, and then you find the bow in like that specific chest right there.
Yeah, it's just like, really? Really?
I just lost 3 minutes. This is the time to gamble.
Alright, well, a Turtle Rock small key sitting in the Dark Maze, so we know that technically Trinex is behind all 6 pod keys.
Yeah,
so
and that lamp is blocking a lot of stuff in this game, so it'll be interesting to see. Like, it feels like they're gonna find it. It's not gonna be that far out of the way. Blocks the flippers. It blocks obviously the rest of TR, as you just indicated.
What's this, Ice Big?
I think it might be blocked by the lamp as well. I can't remember where it was.
Yeah, it was. I think it was in there as well. I'm sorry for anybody using the headphones. That was a little loud on my end. But my goodness. Another bow over there on the right-hand side.
Honestly, it was loud, but like
good.
appropriately loud, right? Like that's ludicrous that both the bows are in pod and one of them's bow locked. So they're both logically available only with one key. That's outrageous.
Indeed. Well, there you go. If you wanted to know where your bows were.
So it's going to be interesting. Will Humbugh, because he's sort of in a spot where if he wants to get a little creative, he can kind of get down to that Dark Ice Rod Cave area from where he is now if he wants to take a long, dangerous swim. And we know that's kind of where that's where the flippers are. That's where Eastern Palace is. Obviously, the flippers are in Eastern. He can full clear Eastern his first trip down there. Let's see how long it takes him to make the swim.
Well, you have gotten your wish about the sword situation.
Let's go. Sword, make a trip to Swamp Palace for us, Humbugh. We know that's where the last one is.
I mean, that is how Swamp tend to do.
I also love we're seeing all the vanilla strats, quote unquote vanilla. The love not Herapod and getting to see the nice quick double or spin kill into strat by Humbugh in that beetle room. Is that what they're called? I just like seeing these rooms.
Mm-hmm. We did see their dataplet did the bomb jump to get to the big chest of Turtle Rock, which is, again, as we discussed, a bit of a weird technique.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but my strategy is I kind of get near the top, or what I think visually is the top, because I'm not a big sword buffer spin guy. I'm not great at it. And then I just try and move 1 pixel to the right, and it seems to work most of the time.
Yeah, you actually can't sword buffer that one.
Okay, I thought that might have been the case.
Yeah, if you try to sword buffer that, you will fall into the hole. And
yeah,
that's what makes it tricky.
Welcome to my world, everyone! See, that is one of the reasons why I like Herapod, because I just can't get the sword buffering to work. I mean, I can, but like people make it look so easy, and it's like it just doesn't work for me because my brain doesn't work, I guess. But I've actually tried a lot of time, and it's hilarious how bad I am at it.
All right, Humbugh finishing off Tower of Hera, picks up another crystal here. And there we go.
Yeah, exactly. He has 80% knowledge, just missing those last two. Which one's a crystal? Which one's a pendant? Always love to see that early Hera be a crystal. I feel like whenever I play, it's a pendant, and I'm slightly annoyed. Quote unquote early. I guess we're an hour into this seed, but first time fine. Clear Hera.
Oh, there's the hammer.
Wow, Humbugh making all the plays. That's incredible. Shovel, he just found that in Hera, right? So
yep, it was in the big chest of Hera. That is absolutely true.
And I wouldn't be totally surprised if he sort of angled his way back up towards Ice Palace, but I think he's gonna. Well, it looks like he's going for the. I don't know what he's doing over here now. Where was GT again?
It was in the canyon lift.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Oh, he's going to the dark. Is
He's gonna
yeah, okay.
boots.
Yeah, he's gonna run down to Dark Ice Rod Cave area from here. This is really smart.
That's pretty shiny. I like it.
I always have in my brain, not always, but it's like one of my things is like, oh, I'm gonna remember when I find a good water walk set up near the lake, and then I never do. This is gonna work out really well for him. Yeah.
You just got to make sure you don't take unintentional damage. Well, where are you going? Oh, he's just setting up iframes.
This is smart. I agree. I had no idea what he was doing with the boots. Of course, the iframes are going to last almost to the top of the ladder.
Yeah, it's like who needs skill when you've got cheese?
Yeah, and honestly, for like, obviously you can't take super slow strats, but in general, if there's a strat that'll almost guarantee you live, and there's another one that's like 2 seconds faster, but has a 10% chance you're going to die, you're not going to lose the race because of that time, right? So you might as well play safe.
Yeah, seems entirely legit. All right, Humbugh entering Eastern Palace and is going to full clear this thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately...
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, dataplet not immediately following up on those on that dam check, still without the boots, which it seems like might be required to get the hook shot in the seed, because we haven't found it yet, and I feel like the mirror's blocking a lot of what's left.
Now, in other versions of Randomizer, some of the newer normal modes, they've added in the advanced logic, and so for something like why is my brain not working? For something like Eastern Palace, going through the back with the fire rod would be in logic play, but I don't believe that's been implemented into Crosskeys because Crosskeys doesn't care.
I believe you're correct. I say believe because I'm not sure either. I'm fairly certain, and I've never seen it where it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? It hasn't broken me yet. But, like you said, it's one of those dark rooms like what you said about I gotta finish the sentence, people aren't in my head. What you said earlier about, like, the Dark Old Man return, the Eastern Palace dark room is basically one I feel like everyone is comfortable doing who's racing in this community, because it's awesome to learn new tech, and it's one of the ones you learn first.
Yeah, this Eastern Palace dark room is super easy tech. The one in the back, potentially less easy, but since you have the fire rod, it's going to be trivial.
Yeah, exactly. That one goes from being scary with low health without the fire rod to essentially being free with the fire rod. And let's see if we can audibly judge Humbugh's surprise about what he's going to find here, or visually judge, I should say. True pro just finds those flippers in a ridiculously out of logic spot for seemingly, and then moves right on.
Alright, so dataplet's going to take care of the digging game here. Eventually, dataplet will get to that sunken treasure location to acquire the boots.
Nice clean room by Humbugh there, of course. Those silver arrows make a lot of things very fun.
The silver arrows make a lot of things very dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically just extreme levels of dead. They deal to anything that actually takes damage from them. They deal 100 points of damage.
Exactly.
Which is more points of damage than most things have health. There are precisely 3 enemies in the game that don't die to a single silver arrow if they take damage at all.
Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. I mean, obviously one of them is the Vitreous Eyeball. One of them...
I'm counting Ganon.
Oh, okay. And then one of them is going to be a Pokies, right? You
Yep.
got to use 2 to kill them, right? So.
Yep.
And then Ganon, I guess, yeah. That's
I mean,
incredible.
that seems weird for the Pokies because like a couple of spins will take care of them with the Tempered Sword. But the thing is, the Tempered Sword, each of the body parts of the Pokey takes damage. And so when you shoot with a silver arrow, it only hits one of the body parts, and it takes 1 instance of 100 points of damage. But when you spin with the Tempered Sword, it takes 4 instances of 16.
Nice. Dataplet gets his skull was big key. We all want you to get the boots, my man. Okay, Humbug going to his save quit point. Let's see what he does next. I feel like is this gonna? I would be thinking about Ice Palace. I think personally right now, it's a crystal. You got the big key, you got the small key. He's still looking at doors. Not a bad idea. He knows he's got the mirror. See what this is. Jump down here.
It's a Meyer key.
I mean, I guess that could save you a second if you haven't picked up the pot key already and you use it to get to the right side.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm fully on team skip that pot key under any circumstance I can, so even though it's like it's ridiculous to I think it probably saves time. But that's more of an open mode.
So
okay.
Dataplet has now located pod with no pod keys.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for him.
I mean, if he sequence breaks the right hand side, he can get a bow at least. But he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Hopefully he goes south and well, nope, he's not doing that. I was hoping he would go to the south side of Hyrule to pick up those boots, but yet again, that location eludes you. And to be fair, if you've already been down there and checked the entrances, you don't really think about going back down to that entrance or to that one item until much later. It's kind of a mess.
I specifically switched from Seth's tracker to Dunka's entrance tracker so that I wouldn't forget about things like that, because when you mark the dam in his tracker, it lights up that chest for you, and then because I have done seeds where you find the dam and forget about that check for 90 minutes, right? Like,
yeah, I might have to look into that tracker.
It's a little different. I mean, any tracker that you start with, it's not the one you're used to using, feels terrible, right? Because it's not what you're used to, and it's obviously some of the options are going to be different, but I like it. I also like the other one. I don't know that there's anything. It's just sort of a personal choice. I also like that it can draw lines for you, and I find it helps me remember where my connectors are. I was never the best at saying like, oh, that connector 2 here leads to that connector 2. I had a tough time keeping that straight in my head. So I like lines like a child's drawing, or like Charlie Day on It's Always Sunny.
I'd always done on the Seth tracker. I always had I had specific numbers for some specific connectors. So like Paradox Cave is 3.
Yeah.
Things like that, and then like instead of using multiples of single numbers, sometimes I do like a double 1 to mark a place. And like
that's really smart. I feel like a lot of people who do have really good Seth's tracker runs, like I know a lot of my friends do, Goomba, Lynn, really good runners, and they have exactly what you're describing, where the specific numbers refer to specific connectors, so they not only know that there's a connector, but if it's a good one or not, is it Spiral Cave or is it the old lady's house?
All right, so Dataplet is starting from Link's house. Let's see if he goes south. Okay. Here we go. Yep, looks like we are going to see him pick up the boots. And there we go. Now he's headed east. Now, Humbug is in Ice Palace and is going to be able to full clear the silly thing. Minus the big chest. No, he got the Ice Palace big chest, big key. What am I talking about? You ever have this thing where you forget how to brain for a second? I think your connection might have died again there. Anyway.
No, dude. I see. It's funny. You're talking about forgetting things, and here I am forgetting that I turned push to talk on because, in case of background noises on my part. That's how smart I am.
It happens to the best of us.
I am good for it once a run, especially since I haven't been doing much commentary. I've been more busy lately than I'd like to be, but saw that there was an open spot and wanted to hop in to help out.
Hey, well, there's a big key of Swamp Palace for dataplet over there on Zora.
Yeah, it's like you see the big key, you're pretty excited. You see that it's Swamp Palace, you're like, okay, I guess I have this.
It's like, I don't want to complain about it because, like, if I ever have to go do Swamp, I do want to have it. But, again...
Yeah, I feel like when you're only looking for big keys at the end of the game and you find it, you can, like, audibly and loudly complain about it. But at this point, neither one of them been in Swamp. It's nice to have. So I wonder... It's like, where are we going to find this lamp? It still feels like the lamp is the linchpin. Now, of course, with the fire rod, they don't really need the lamp.
Yeah, it's going to be on Cold Stare. That's where it's going to be. Actually, Cold Stare is going to have Bombos. Never mind. I keep forgetting the rule. If you're in Ice Palace... and you have the fire rod, and you're looking for Bombos, it's in there.
Oh, that was an interesting find there. The small key to Desert Palace logically brings that boss into check, which I don't think really matters, but also opens two of, I feel like, some fairly annoying checks depending on where Desert is.
Yeah, I think Desert was pretty accessible, though, so...
Yeah, I think you're right. And of course, with the Tempered Sword, this Cold Stare fight becomes not too difficult with half magic as well. I think Humbug's still on green mail. I have no idea what the sprites look by Yoshi. Oh yeah, the tracker has a mail upgrade on it. Looks like he is still on green. And he does a very nice clean fight.
Alright, 300 rupees from Cold Stare and another crystal. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, Humbug making good progress.
Now, strangely enough, we still have not found any of the implements that would allow us to explore Ganon's tower. Like, we don't have a hook shot. I mean, we could go left side now, like sequence breaking. But, with the hammer...
Yeah, especially since, like... It doesn't feel like you want to prioritize sequence breaking Ganon's tower. It'd be one thing if you kind of stumbled into it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Humbug, yeah, he's saying you're an idiot, Frost. I'm going right to these Desert Palace chests. Because he's not looking for a whole host of things anymore. He basically needs what?
Not great. Yeah, go ahead.
He basically needs, I think, like the two Meyer things, the key and the cane, and, you know, a pot, maybe, depending on which one, pot or swamp, that would vary, but he's down to only needing a few items.
Yeah, could end up needing the hook shot.
Yep, exactly. Could end up needing, I guess, one pod small key. I think he might have used all his pod small keys when he was in there. Maybe he found one since leaving, actually, now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah, one more Castle Tower small key, too.
Oh, yeah, more guy coming in clutch.
Seems like a thing.
And as soon as that gets brought, I'm like, of course, that's what they're going to be looking for the next 40 minutes.
Yup. Well, Pyramid Fairy doesn't want to shell out anything today.
I feel like that's just extra rude. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess the bee's more annoying because you then have to actively get rid of it, but just giving you nothing back, it's like, come on.
Shoutouts to Parallel Worlds. Sorry. I don't know if anybody's played that, but that's what happens when you throw a full bottle in either of the ponds in that game.
Nice. I didn't know that. I have played it, but I didn't know that. That's funny. So we'll see if this chest has anything important in it.
Yo.
Well,
I mean, it's important for some value of the word important.
yeah, and honestly, but between the two of them, they're disturbingly close to having that whole TR access. I mean, Kane is obviously still missing, but logically, I guess we found. I mean, it's interesting. Also interesting that Humbugh has 3 TR keys and dataplet doesn't have any of them yet.
That is pretty strange. I think one of them was in here.
Yeah.
Dataplet is. Or Ganon is behind Dagger 1. GT is over in the canyon. But yeah. And speaking of GT, we've still got the back of Escape behind GT as well.
Yeah, that's another 3 items, and it's, with those bows, and they haven't found the big key yet, is that correct, I think, for Ganon Sour?
Yeah, that's the one thing we're missing there.
Yeah, and you really don't want to go there without it, I feel like, at this point. I mean, obviously, if you find the hammer, you're probably going to go there because it's so high, such a high density location for the last remaining items, but...
Yep, so Humbugh does have the opportunity to do the save scum on the small key here if we want to. It's a little easier to do with the mirror, so who knows what we will do. Apparently not that.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a meta play. I'm not sure if he's scouted dataplet and knows he's likely to do this or whatever, but I don't hate this.
See, I think it's theoretically possible for, like, the lamp to be back there, which would be hilarious.
Oh, he's just resetting out of there, so he'll just go back and take a key if he wants to go through.
That's a perfectly legitimate strategy if you find nothing important. Speaking of important, there's that mirror for dataplet, which I don't know about you, but it feels like Humbugh had that almost an hour ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did save scum out of the ice rod in a castle tower or not.
Maybe.
I can't remember exactly if he saved quit before that or whatever. I'm not a big fan of saving and scumming items. I think somewhat famously in my circle of friends, and one of the reasons is because I have often, when trying to do it, forgotten about previous things I've gotten and saved out of. So this is interesting. We got the big play going through Castle or through Hyrule Castle. Realistically, it's probably not going to be anything, but if it is something, it's going to be very, very advantageous for Humbugh.
Whoa!
That was a big find.
Hook shot over in the big chest of Skull Woods. Where the heck was that big key? I don't even remember.
Yep. Absolutely no clue. But that's exactly what dataplet needed to help him potentially gain some of this time back.
Meyer?
But I don't think Humbug... Oh, he does have it. He just hasn't been back there. Maybe it was in Meyer. Either way, it's not a terribly appealing spot to go for that one-off check of the big chest of Skull Woods.
Oh, King's Tomb, it says. Huh.
Ah.
Alright, back of escape is a whole lot of Garbo.
Yeah, just annoyingly bad. Are compasses the worst item? They're the worst item, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
I guess it's hard to argue that, like, getting 10 arrows when you already have max arrows, like, it's literally nothing, so maybe that has to be the worst.
Some people would say Mirror Shield is the worst item.
Yeah, fair.
It's not me, but then again, I'm not super optimized with my movement either, so...
Exactly, same. I mean, I don't like it, but it's not like I feel like I'd rather have it than compasses. Mind you, it's not like I'm picking up shields if I can avoid them.
Oh yeah, map of GT or Castle Tower.
Oh, great nominees.
Or Hyrule Castle. There's not a Castle Tower map.
I do. It's funny. I never would have called you out, and I knew exactly what you were talking about, my man. But yeah, those are pretty awful for sure. Especially since if you've gone, like, let's say you see a map at Race Game and you walk over there to pick it up and it ends up being the GT map.
Though, interestingly enough, you absolutely can, through the customizer, put in a map of, like, Castle Tower or whatever.
Oh yeah, welcome to what is that called? Crisscross.
Oh yeah. Oh, door rando ridiculousness. That's some fun
Door
stuff
rando.
right there.
That's door rando. That was the word I couldn't think of. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I've also heard it called crisscross rando because it's the door rando with the other junk thrown in.
Cross keys, exactly.
Hey, there was that other sword in the map chest of GT, so maybe you'll get to see your...
It's theoretically possible.
Your gold sword situation there.
Let's see if... Oh, there's a nice shield. We can just keep talking about shields, probably spawn the other two here.
Sounds pretty good.
Dataplet going back to Desert Palace top, which makes total sense. Rush Donjon.
And then you said, keep talking about shields, and my mind immediately went to Brook.
At least we have the same arrow, or I totally get that reference. Few more checks here in GT for Humbug. Let's give him like the big key here. Let's make him make a decision about whether he wants to waste his time climbing the tower or not after he already checked the back of escape.
Wait, Humbug left a chest in Stalfos' room?
Interesting.
That's got to just be a straight up mistake. But hey, I'll take one of those. Titan's Mints there on Bob's chest.
Yeah, very nice to have. Sometimes annoying in entrance when you're like, are these actually needed? But only 2 for 3 on keys. But that pod key's good to have. Bottle, empty bottle, probably not that much use for Humbug at this point. So yeah, it looks like Chad is confirming that he did not pick up the bottom right chest in Stalfos' room. Looks like he got occupied with the skeleton and it broke his muscle memory. Which...
Yeah. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Oh, I've done it before, and I've seen really good runners make all kinds of weird mistakes that you'd think that would be impossible they would do.
so one thing I'd like to see dataplet do is head to Hookshot Cave and make use of that hookshot, and maybe Swamp as well.
Yeah, for sure. He does. He needs to, I don't remember where the shovel was, but that shovel blocked the hammer, so he's gonna want to go do that too. I can't remember.
The shovel was in Tower of Hera.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was the big chest. That's right. Okay, and it looks like Chad's pointing out that the last crystal is in fact Skull Woods here.
Or is Pod?
Yeah, I don't know why I looked at Mothula and I said Skull Woods. I was just thinking, did I say the right thing? Thank you, Bob. That Pod, yes. Pod. So dumb. But yeah, now basically he just needs to find those 2 Mire items and that Aga Tower small key.
Yeah, you definitely might run into a situation where the hookshot might not be required. You might even run into a situation where the hookshot's not even logically required. Yeah,
exactly. Just costs you more time. That's one of the unfortunate things about entrance rando is sometimes finding something like the mirror before your opponent is only a bad thing. Not often.
All right, well, dataplet is going into Pod with the 1 key, and he's going to be pleasantly surprised by this particular check.
Yeah, he's going to have to unfortunately wait at least 1 more check before he gets silvers. Yeah, I can't remember. Do you remember where Tower of Hera's entrance was located?
So off the top of my head, like, I want to think it might have been like the Dark Bonk Rocks near.
Okay, I was thinking it might have been the Dark Potion Shop, but I definitely am not sure. Okay, looks like you might have nailed it. Awesome job.
Cool. I was only slightly sure of that, but yeah. Well, dataplet in and out of Pod with silvers now.
Have you ever seen both bows in Pod like that before? I don't think I've ever seen them.
No.
I've played a lot of Crosskeys.
I have seen a bow over there on the
Same.
right side of Pod.
Yeah.
But I've never seen both bows at least that close to each other. I think I might have seen like 1 bow in the back and one on the right there.
Yeah, I'm saying I've never seen it. I probably, if I could actually go back and investigate it, I have. Because I've definitely seen funny things like, gloves and mitts both in Waterfall Fairy.
Yeah, and I mean, after running as many Crosskeyed seeds as the 2 of us have, I'm sure there have been so many little incidences that they just all run together at this point.
Exactly. Or you watch someone else do it and it's so memorable. I can't remember if that was a seed I played or a race I watched. Like, it all just becomes a big blur.
So I don't know what the actual Crosskeys world record is, but I don't think anyone really keeps track because, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to compare times on one seed with another because it's just so...
I want to say we're talking like 117 or something like that is the fastest time I've heard of, or maybe even 115. I know the fastest time ever on ladder is a 121 by Days Cloud, which is insane, But you're right; those aren't relevant, other than the fact that you got a really lucky seed, because obviously you can't do that with most seeds, and you got lucky in the seed. That's really all that matters.
Yeah. So you have to get the most jet seed ever and actually go the path that leads to that jet seed.
Exactly. You got to hit it, and you got to, those are times that you basically can't do much extra.
But yeah, to put that in context, last night I got my best time in any seed ever. It was a Casual Boots SGL seed, and I got a 126. So
nice job, though. That's awesome. Always.
So these are some really really fast times for some of these runners.
Yeah, exactly. Some people are just incredible. You watch the finite level of execution in every room. You know, there's in theory no unplanned movements. You know what I mean? I cannot get to that level.
I think I could if I had the time to put in for it.
Yeah, maybe same, but I'm not a grinder. I don't have the mentality to just like, it's why I don't have an NMG time. I've never really played NMG. I just enjoy I'm more of the puzzler type, so I like the memeing and the challenge as opposed to just trying to grind out rooms to get a better number on my time.
I think I did do one NMG run once there was like a 400 follower thing.
Nice.
When I got that many, I would do one.
Yeah, I've done two.
I can't even remember what my time was. It was like a 150 something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my PB is like a 146. Because I've done exactly 2 seeds ever, 2 runs.
That hookshot cave I was talking about earlier.
Red mail.
Oh, GT Big Key. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, like, honestly, would you just think about instantly following that? You know, you got to feel bad about where that dam was and how late you got the boots, right? So I feel like you have to be thinking about making a big play at some point if you're dataplet.
And Humbugh just picked up the hook shot, so another one of those coming around. I would not be surprised to see a play into GT real quick. And the great thing about that is now you know that since you have the big key, you don't have to abandon the big chest while you're down there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would not be surprised to see the lamp up top in GT. Like,
yeah, I completely agree with you. It's almost like the most densely left logical location it can be, I think. One of them. Well, I guess especially for dataplet, because he's going to be more prone to climb because he's got those 3 garbage checks in the back of the escape available for him on the back end of that as well.
All right, so dataplet going to the potion shop to purchase a potion for later use, and interestingly enough, going for that what we know to be the ice rod here in Agate Tower.
Yeah. I would be really tempted to avoid this just because, you know, you're going to be coming back here again at some point. I'm greedy like that. And nice to have that mirror because that's a Frostbite classic. The mirror into the save quit.
Oh yeah.
I get not like really mad because I don't ever like it's even if I yell it sometimes I'm not actually mad, but it really irritates me when I do stuff like that. Those minor failures where sometimes when I make major mistakes, it's really easy to ignore them.
Well, Humbugh is taking that hookshot directly to its original source, the Swamp Palace. 10 items to find in here. The first 2 of which have been medallions, the Quake and Bombos medallion, respectively.
Incredible. Let's go 3 for 3. Come on, game.
Yeah, trying to figure out, like, the way Humbugh would route this. Would he go to the compass chest next, or would he just open the big chest, or would he just go to the left side?
Yeah, I feel like I would probably go to the south chest, the compass chest, but I feel like any one of those things are in play. I feel like he's missing enough that he's probably going to do left side first. And datapet, here we go. He's listening to me, just going straight up.
You're just going straight up GT here. It's good to keep in mind he hasn't actually done the back of escape, so he could, see this as.
Yeah, it's 7 items in his head, right?
7 items.
Exactly.
Now, left side is something like 17 items, but
yeah, and GT's in a pretty okay spot to get back to. I mean, I don't hate this. This is a gamble where you think, this might be my out at this point. Given I don't want to find required stuff behind the mirror.
All right, so the compass just the map of Ganon's Tower, that ever so useless, terrible, horrible item.
It's honestly so bad that I might give it 3 in a row, even if it's in the next check. And I like that Humbugh's just going straight left side here. He's obviously going to do the, what is this called? The diver down technique? I can't even remember any of these words anymore.
Yeah, and it's not going to be the Kane version.
Yeah, exactly. This is something I have practiced and can do, but never do in races because it never works first time for me because I'm not that good. Very cleanly done by Humbugh. Really nice.
So one of the tricks with that one is the way you set it up and the way Humbugh did it there. If you get knocked, when you get knocked to the right, you actually get knocked too far to the right.
Yeah.
So you have to go left a little bit so that you can then go up.
Yeah, exactly.
But you do not want to hit a diagonal when you're doing that left movement. You want to hit exactly left, or you're going to have a problem on your hands.
Yep. Yeah, and I just, again, feel this is a really smart play. Like, he's missing enough items that you know you're going to clear this. Just do it all the most efficiently, the most efficient hundo clear way. Good words.
And there it is!
Yes! Yes!
Aether Medallion on left side, Swamp. That is going to do it for our medallions.
I think I've never seen all 3 medallions in one dungeon before. This seems absurd. Just on the way it's like a full house of bows and medallions.
That's really strange, but yeah, I think you're right. I've never actually seen that. That's not true. That's not true. I have seen them all in GT once.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I can that makes now I'm questioning it, but geez, like in the front 6 chests, that's incredible.
Yeah. I've definitely never seen them all in a GT dungeon. GT just has 27
OP.
chests, so it's just like you're cheating at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, more explosives for Humbugh. Nicely done. Turtle Rock, small key. Moving on. Alright, dataplet is going to find the first few items up here in GT. What do we have? A piece of heart. A bottle with a fairy. I mean, given his current state, I wouldn't mind one of those.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing for him right this second.
Kane of Samaria! Hello!
So that's good for him. Very good, very good, very good. So it's actually the lamp not going to be up here. The lamp is going to be behind the cane somewhere. Is that what we're looking at here in this scene?
Maybe.
Which
put lamp on Trinex and then like something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Or there's very few spots. It could be like or the front of TR. I don't.
Well, no, lamp cannot be on Trinex. I know this for a fact because the ice rod was in the dark room.
Oh yeah, exactly. Good call.
Oh, the Meyer Big Key. What?
The seed. What is this? What even is this seed? That's incredible. Not only are there 2 required items at the top, but they're both required for Misery Mire. And they're like essentially the 2 things that Humbugh is looking for. This race.
Yeah, so the hook shot was logically required for that Meyer Big Key. It wasn't actually required if you're proficient with the hovering technique, but
yeah, exactly.
Moldorm bounce. No, Moldorm bounce wouldn't do it for you. You have to kill Moldorm.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the seed last night was that I got that time on was because I was able to get the Moldorm hover. So
nice.
Oh no!
He's got that fairy. He's got that fairy.
Yeah, you're right. He just picked up the fairy.
Yeah. Still, like, you hate to see this. This is the time loss where you're like, I better not lose by 10 seconds now.
So he knocked it back, got hit, and then when he got back up, the hit went through and actually killed Aga too.
Yep, that was wild.
Great. So 2-0-1-2-1.
Yeah, that was this. This has been fun. A lot of stuff. You know, this is why you watch it, right? Like if it was always the same, it'd get boring. But I've even as many as we've watched and played and ran. This is incredible. So many weird things happening in this seed.
Yeah, and I know that cross keys might be a little long for a lot of people and a little confusing for some people. But once you know what's going on, like, it's just that much more interesting than any other mode to even look at.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like it's sometimes hard for me to follow it when I'm watching. Like, I have no clue where a lot of the connectors and dungeons are. I'm just not watching it that closely, you know what I mean? But when I'm playing it, especially, it's absolutely my favorite mode because of the complexity, because of the puzzle you're trying to figure out, because there's so much sequence breaking, so you end up with items that aren't in logic, but they open other things, and just trying to keep all that straight. It's my favorite mode.
All right, so dataplet now heading up to the north side here. Looks like we might get a King's Tomb play. Well, no, he's definitely already done King's Tomb. He's got that key.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what he's doing. Is he just... Like, it looks like he's running a lap around the world to see how fast... Whoa, that was interesting. See what the fastest time around Hyrule is.
All right. Well, there was a key in Mimic Cave there. I didn't see what to. My guess would be Pod because we haven't seen enough of those. But he's definitely going to Mire here.
Yeah, what I should have said, I should have thought for 1 second when I asked where he was going. It's like, what did he just find? He just found all the stuff from Mire. Of course he's coming here to finish this off. It's a crystal. Although I don't think he knows that yet.
In before Lamp and in the big chest.
I was jealous of that call. I was like, man, he's going to be right. This Lamp has got to be up here somewhere soon. And that's the best way to make yourself sound as smart as a commentator, especially when there's a lot of checks left, but the Lamp can only be in a few of these.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can make yourself sound like a pure clairvoyant if you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's just like keep calling it over and over again, and eventually you're gonna be right.
Eventually it lands. Like in before Lamp on Victories. I mean, wait, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that one's not gonna happen. But Lamp in the first 3 chests in TR might be a good claim worth staking at this point.
Oh yeah, good call.
Because I think they found that door somewhat early. I know they found they were do-si-doing around. I think one of them was the front and the left side of TR over on just in Kakariko Village.
Well, we found the real dud of a connector now through the Spectacle Rock Cave drop down over toward Desert Right, because of course Desert Right.
Yeah, just a horrible spot to get to. I mean, I guess early game it's not the worst connector to get spit out because you can get that early Agina's cave check and maybe even do that sort of cave in the middle of on your way towards the dam. But yeah, just a garbage location.
Oh yeah, you can definitely use the cane to go to the right side of GT. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's even Firelock, so that's definitely where the lamp is, obviously.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, well, the right side of TR is also Fire Rod Lock too, so I feel like.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they both got that going for them. But yeah, these there's very limited checks left now. Humbugh's gonna end up with, I believe the Swamp Palace big key was up here, and that's about it. Or was it the TR big key? One of them was on Zora.
Yeah, Swamp Big was on Zora.
Dataplet face tanking some eyes for swag with red mail. That's what I would tell my. Oh my gosh! You don't got to be that swaggy, Dataplet. Thankfully, you didn't die.
But it turns out I didn't die.
And you know what? The game is like, dude, what are you even doing? Here's a heart piece. Here's full health. Get out of here. I feel like there's no worse feeling in the end of Crosskeys Seed when you are looking for a big key and you get that debate big key. Because there's so many small keys that you're not like, oh, this is going to be the CT small key when you're still missing like 3 pod keys and 2 Meyer keys and an ice key. But when you're only missing 1 or 2 big keys and you find the one that you don't need, it's just like, oh man, this sucks.
Yeah, and it doubly sucks for Humbugh because, of course, he's actually done Swamp already.
Exactly, that's a natural rule. You've already been in the spot where that big key opens and have no desire to go back to Skullwoods or Swamp Palace.
Alright, so dataplet is now in Tower of Hera. If he manages to get through here, grab that shovel, and get out in a reasonable amount of time, and then immediately take that shovel over to the dig spot, he will have the hammer, then he'll be in real good shape.
Oh, and Humbugh is making the play as well. I think he doesn't have very many options left.
Having a bit of an argument with that mimic, looks like. Alright, shovel acquired for dataplet, and 1 red rupee.
Exactly. And where this Hera is located, there's no way he's not going to follow up on that shovel right away, I feel.
Yeah, it's super close by. It's got to be the next play.
Exactly. And he's shown sort of a penchant, and I like this, of following the items you find, maybe not mindlessly per se, but like prioritizing them rather than necessarily going to other spots you could check that have been available longer.
Yeah. Following items, I find that following items that are deeper in the logic tends to do you a lot better. Not necessarily the last item you found, you know what I mean? But items that, if you can piece together the logic and they're the deepest one you found, it's more likely to be that one than the others. Because the way this thing does, because at the beginning every location is accessible for every item, and it only starts getting restricted once you start placing items, it tends to lead to these long chains somewhere along the line.
Yeah, exactly. It only takes 1, right? And the other thing I like prioritizing is items that I feel like I've gotten for whatever reason I've determined, either in a bad location that I think my opponent might not prioritize, or like I've found it in a spot where I feel like my opponent might have been in this dungeon without the GT big key the first time or something like that.
So dataplet is making a liar out of me. He's going to GT first, and it's really annoying because he could have the hammer and be able to do all of GT.
Exactly.
But I mean, taking care of right side and doing the full right here is not bad.
No, it's just unfortunate with the the overall omnipotent view that we know where the hammer is sitting, and it's like very close to where he was. But yeah, I guess the question that we're all asking is where's this CT key gonna be? Like it's there's not that many spots left, right? It's this GT here, swaths of TR.
Yeah. So to answer Vortex, the swords, one was in the Chicken Hut, which was over at Sazrala. One was on top of Spectacle Rock. One was in the one was in the map chest of GT, and the other one was the back of Hera. Yeah. Not the basement, but the map chest of Hera.
Yeah, the middle, the free chest.
Yeah, and there is that one chest that Humbugh skipped, which you might have mentioned.
That's right. And Humbugh taking a fall. That's always feeling great when you're on Gold Sword. If the thing with Humbugh, he's almost certainly going to mirror out and check the right side of Hera, or the right side of GT right away.
Yeah, because he's seen the back of Escape. He knows it's hot garbage.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's mirroring right the heck out. And
Yeah.
he is going to go ahead and go to right side. We
Yeah.
did notably find the book over there, which is interesting.
Yeah, very annoying to find the slate, of course. And also, that's not... I feel like you'd be tempted to just... Well, I'll go to Mire, because if what I'm looking for is Admire, then I'm in go mode. But I like this. It's a not a cautious play, but it's a thorough play.
I would call it a disciplined play.
Yeah, discipline. Great word. Then yeah, I don't know if like it's statistically there's more chests here, so it's more likely to be here, and they're faster, and it's like no setup time. You're already right here. So yeah, I think the other things we have left, I'm pretty sure Spike Cave and Mimic Cave are still in the wild. I know they found both of those before they found the hammer.
Potion shop, yeah, it was on Death Mountain. It was east side Death Mountain. Just like in one of the Paradox Cave entrances.
And
well,
of course,
Dataplet's going to take that book and put it to good use.
let's see if we get one of the worst locations in the game providing value. Oh, that's about the requisite level of value from that location.
That is accurate. Just a defensive item. Oh, if Humbug goes for it, he's going to get Mirror Shield.
I just noticed the same thing. It's like, how does he have? He has 2 shields already.
Arthur 2 Shields Jackson over here. Oh, come on, Dataplet, you're killing me. Just walking right past the grove.
Yeah, I'm looking at his tracker, and he doesn't have the shovel lit up on it, unfortunately.
Uh-oh. Oh no! See, this is why I started doing the auto tracking thing, because I can't be trusted to click things.
Yeah, that's a really good reasoning. I've tried to use auto tracking and have been unsuccessful. I've been successful several times and unsuccessful other times for whatever reason, and I'm not good enough at computers to figure out why.
All right, well, 1 big shield acquired for Humbug, and he's gonna head east from here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the whole blue Yoshi, gold sword, gold shield look he's got going on.
Yeah, it's pretty complimentary in the colors department. I'm not an art professor or anything, but I do know that blue and yellow kind of go together.
Yeah, I think they're opposite or something like that. But I'm not a art guy either at all. But they look great. It's a great palette, great look. And unsurprisingly, Humbug making his play back through here to Misery Mire. And of course, as we so boldly predicted earlier, this has come down to an Agaki hunt. And there is, maybe 20 locations left, and they're all kind of terrible. Dataplet going to double up on this value book, see what he finds here. Hopefully he remembers to pick up his sword, although it will ruin my dream of seeing the quad sword in the top of Spectacle Rock.
Well, there is the Cane of Brian.
Yeah, not particularly ideal at this point. Although I'm pretty sure Mimic Cave was somewhere up here, like in the Old Man Return Cave, somewhere there, lower on Death Mountain.
What was that? Sorry, I spaced out for a second.
No worries. Honestly, I don't even remember what I just said.
Fair enough.
It was so memorable that even I forgot within 10 seconds. Not even that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Turtle Rock left up in the front. Also, I think the back, like the Crystal Roller Room hasn't been checked.
Yeah, Crystal Roller Room plus the 3 chests in the front. Also, I don't think did anyone check the Swamp Palace big chest? Did dataplet check that? I can't remember. Has he even been in Swamp? I don't think he has, right?
No, I don't think he has.
Then there's also, I believe, Mimic Cave and Spike Cave. There's also, they could stumble into the Mushroom at some point. I'm not sure. Oh, they both have the Mushroom. I don't think either one of them's checked it, because that's in a terrible spot for that.
So, dataplet's going straight to the boss here. If I were him, what I would have done is gone to the Crystal Roller Room, mirror, and then come to the boss. And then when you beat the boss, it puts you out at the front so you can do the front.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it looks like you did pick up Mimic Cave. Nice.
Yeah, Mimic Cave was done for... Humbugh did Mimic Cave. There was a key in it. I'm going to guess it was for Pod, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, every medallion is in Swamp, so if you need to get into a medallion entrance, you have to go to Swamp.
Yeah, dataplet did already check the big chest. He bomb jumped to it fairly early. Or mid-game, somewhere thereabouts.
Yeah. The hammer was at the dig spot, so as soon as dataplet finally gets to doing that, he'll have a hammer on his hands.
And Humbugh coming back for the front of TR. I wouldn't be surprised. They also haven't found the flute at all in this seed, which is also always obviously annoying as a runner.
Yeah, I wrote all these lyrics and everything. I mean... It's like, there's a point at which when you find the flute, it's not even worth activating.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you almost have to... Is there any time I can save... And you almost have to save like 30 or 40 seconds for it to be worth it, which is hard at the end of the game.
Though, I mean, if you're still looking for stuff and, like, you haven't found a way to get to Meyer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which I don't believe we have, so...
That is correct. I don't think there is a connector to Meyer, although I wouldn't swear that they've checked them all either.
Alright, we've got a Hyrule Castle small key, and there's the lamp!
Winner, winner!
Alright, congratulations.
What a ridiculous lamp spot. So deep in the logic, and, like, they've known they would be, like, quote-unquote requiring that it was going to be in the logic chain for so long.
And so now all those medallions you found in Swamp are in logic, right?
Rush TR. Dueling lamps at, like, 201. This is great. Love it. I mean, it's no 2 bows in pod, but it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Alright, Spike Cave finished for Humbugh and dataplet. Heading out to the good old Woods portal to head to the West Dark World. Humbugh is headed to the West Death Mountain. Oh, the GT entrance.
Yeah,
we have those 7 crystals. What the heck?
Yeah, he's looking for a CT small key with the 7 crystals. The worst feeling ever.
I mean, yeah, that is the thing.
I kind of like coming here too because it's progress, right? Like you had to do everything else to open this. Oh wow,
No.
This is the answer too, right? Like this is great.
This is huge. Could very well be our Castle Tower small key. And pushes the wrong block.
He was trying to mirror erase that, but he got one menu short, unfortunately. That's why I quick swap. What can you do? Sometimes it bites you. Oh, and he also didn't wait long enough for the bomb to explode.
Alright, we have bombs. We have a 10 arrows. We have a small key to Tower of Hera. That's like the get wrecked key.
That's just so terrible.
Anybody else in for a Thieves Town big chest?
Oh yeah, that's still out there. I forgot about that. That Hera basement is just... I mean, Hera's not in a terrible spot, so maybe... I'd be tempted to go right there. I mean, I'm going to check this tablet and do the other things that are up here, but that's deep. If it's there, you feel good.
Yeah. All right, dataplet is in the grove. He's going to mirror. He's going to get the hammer. And, I mean, we're sitting here like, look, dataplet has taken forever to find these very necessary items that we've known about for a while. And it does seem like he's kind of behind here. But I don't think it's out of the question that he wins this scene. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to have to be... I feel like it's like... It's going to be tough because he's just got so much more dungeons to clear, right? Like, he's still got to do Ice. He's already been in there. He's still got to do Thieves Town. Even if it's on Purple Chest, I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I feel like this is almost his best chance.
What if it's the one chest in Stalfos room?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Man, all these small keys just killing me right now. That is a 100% bogey item for a humbug, of course, so...
Alright, speaking of Ganon's Tower, dataplet is going back in.
That makes sense. There's basically nothing over here, though, right? I mean, it might be some keys, but...
Alright. Well, he's going right for it. It's the Compass of GT.
Well, that would actually surprisingly help Humbug if it were the thing, but unfortunately for dataplet.
You're absolutely right. As the Compass of GT is the one item that could have prevented him from leaving a chest in GT, and it happens to be in that chest. That is just dumb, and I love it.
It's incredible. It's like three medallions in Quake, or 3 medallions in Swamp, 3 medallions in Quake. Get it right. But and then the bows. This seed has been amazing. But now we're like, is Crystal Roller Room? Like, what do we even have left? Thieves Town Big Chest?
Yeah, Thieves Town Big Chest, Swamp Big Chest.
Yep.
And Humbug's not going for Crystal Roller Room either.
Now, I believe Humbug has not checked the Big Chest of TR yet. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You are, I believe you are entirely correct. I don't know if anybody's turned in the green pendant.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right about that.
I doubt it.
But you know what's bad when you're grasping to figure out what's left, exactly.
Like, straight up head. Like, it's a thing.
I don't even acknowledge that until it's like, I'm there with it. But yeah, that's on there as well. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen the GT, or the CT Go Mode key on PED, which is just horrible.
Yep, I had a race in this tournament that was rebroadcast on one of these channels in which that was the case.
Nice. Did you know about it early, or was it a late thing?
Yeah, I checked it in like the first 3 minutes.
So that's not that bad.
And then immediately walked over to Lumberjack, and it was Ganon. So I'm just like, okay.
Well, at least we know we're having a long play tonight.
Mm-hmm. And both of us finished within a minute of each other in that scene. It was ridiculous.
Nice. So it looks like Humbug's probably going to combo... Oh, he's changing his mind, tripping me up. I thought he was going to combo the Skullwood's Big Chest into PED, but it looks like he's just going straight for the PED.
Yeah, it looks like it. And dataplet is going for... I mean, he's got Skullwood's Big Chest. He's got the hook shot.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're right. Duh.
But dataplet is going into Swamp to do the same thing that Humbugh did earlier, but he has the big key. So if the other Castle Tower small key is inside that big chest, that could be a pretty... that could be one way that dataplet gets bailed out here.
Yeah. Humbugh's just
still have to beat some more dungeons, but
yeah, I'm just straight up rooting for dataplet now after Humbugh gives us the cheeky read of the pedestal instead of blind pulling it. I mean, I don't hate it. I kind of hate it, but it's objectively, I feel like the right play because it's statistically unlikely to be the key, and you're likely to save time, whatever, X times out of 100.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you get down to about 5 items left, then pulling it is probably better, but not now. We don't have 5 items left. Well, I don't know. Maybe we do only have about 5 items left.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, exactly. But they're all terrible, too, so...
Correct. Alright, so now we're going to get Crystal Roller, which dataplet did not manage to pull up earlier. Just the map of Eastern and a full heart. So once again, that last Castle Tower key continues to elude us. I mean, Crosskeys, you might as well just call this mode Castle Tower key mode, like, which is why the what was that ladder mode they had, or is it still a thing right now? Where it's like an inverted with boots, and the flute is on Sazrala. Hello.
That feels likely. I mean, the flute is just like it's going to be in the mire area. I think it's basically all we have left.
Well, I haven't a clue what you're supposed to do, so you can make it through fast as these dudes. These runners are insane and have a galaxy brain, and it is such a shame one has to lose. I don't know if you guys were using that audio or not, but I just decided we needed a duck song.
Incredible. Honestly, a cappella is even better. And Humbug still saying discipline, going to turn in this horrible purple chest before going to the mire area. And I'm not sure what level of detail Humbug keeps, if he knows like exactly what caves he's missing. Late game, if you're not exactly sure, you might know you're missing Blind Sight, which you found, of course, in the GT entrance. But you don't want to know, well, did I find C-shaped house earlier or not? I started actually like tracking every single item cave,
yeah,
but
same. I actually made my own little JavaScript thing where I can click on the places I find and they go away.
And this shows my level of computer. I made one in Excel.
Woo!
Oh, Agina's Cave. Always Agina's Cave, right? This feels spicy.
Seems about right. Well, I mean, it continues.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a long chain. I mean, it's almost getting to the point that it has to be on the powder. There's got to be I'm assuming there might be 1 or 2 more items over here, maybe.
I mean, did anyone turn in the mushroom?
I thought I read that somebody did. I can't remember. I wouldn't swear to it.
Like, I know it was in Right Side GT. Both did? Alright.
Nice.
Nobody take powdered, apparently.
Good. I mean, as it should be done.
I mean, you should ask the winner of the previous race about that one. Because I know for a fact that he got into the
Key Sanity, was that it?
Yeah. One of those tournaments on a fake powder play that just wrecked everyone else.
Yeah, I love it. It was a tiebreaker, right? Like multiple runners. I love plays like that more in a bigger race.
Yeah, seems good.
And I think there's a time and place for fake powder when it kind of naturally lies in your way. But in Crosskeys, I'm a just get rid of the mushroom as soon as I can sort of dude, so I don't end up finding the witch's hut with the stupid mushroom in my inventory that I've had for 40 minutes.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. All right, Graveyard Ledge for Humbug here in the Mire area. Still not a small key to CT. Yep,
This
Castle Tower 2.
this has to be so frustrating, finding all these caves in this sort of last corner of the world, and they're not what you're looking for.
So we're getting the Bombos medallion used here for Humbug. There was no question as to whether he was going to have the correct medallion, because they just all showed up in Swamp for some reason.
Oh wow, all these chests still missing.
Yeah, goodness. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought we'd done this already because this is my second race in a row commentating.
Yeah, exactly.
Running right together, but there we go. And Piece of Heart, and there it is.
And we're good.
Humbug is done, and it looks like Humbug will probably take this series 2-0. Yeah, the green pendant turn-in was absolutely required, and to be fair, dataplet actually had access to that before Humbug did, but hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, exactly. This is pretty awful spots in this seed. That Skullwoods hook shot wasn't that great. Obviously, the flippers were a meme. The lamp was sort of led to all the other locations being terrible. Required green pendant. Just pretty hard not to full clear this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, the garbage is served up hot and fresh here on Nuck.
Yeah, and it's not like Desert Palace green pendant or Eastern green pendant. It's TR green pendant leading to the flute.
Yeah. Oh, so that's extra ugly, because of course the ice rod was the second chest at Castle Tower.
Yeah, exactly.
And go in here, get the stupid ice rod, so that you could then go get the flute, so that you could get the second Castle Tower key. That's some hot garbage.
Exactly. It's just a nested mess. Always love these end of the game agate tower clears when oh wait, no I don't, I actually hate them, but I guess it's a little less frustrating in Crosskeys than in say like 80 keys.
Yeah. I mean, I actually, like in an all dungeons scenario, something like that, I really do like being able to like save agate tower for the very end, like, and
Yeah.
if it's not entrance, you just mirror from beating GT. But when you're still looking for them keys, it's just like, nope.
Yeah, I either like to find like the agate tower keys early so I can just kind of do it when I'm checking the pyramid or something like that. If I, because you got to check those items in there, and I'd rather just not go back up through the tower. But other than that, you're absolutely right. At the end of the game, you'll have the most gear. You'll probably have boots. Like, it's just going to be faster. Obviously, the travel time is 0 as well.
Yeah. So, I think I can't really fault dataplet for any of the decisions he made, but most of them just turned out to be the wrong ones for this seed. Because basically all of the major progression items he ended up pulling out very, very late.
Yeah, I feel like the one, I don't want to say criticism, but like he definitely avoided the area with the dam, like up on Death Mountain for a long time. I felt like, was he not up there earlier? I feel like that's
the only way to get there was through the
desert connector, right?
Desert connector.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. And he made plays which I like, which is sort of, I'm going to go to items that I know exist as opposed to hoping for connectors to pay off. And it didn't work out for him, unfortunately. And Humbug just hit a really clean route in that middle game with everything sort of like leading to itself with the shovel into the hammer in that time frame. He hit that really cleanly. I guess boots into mire, into mirror, into shovel, into hammer.
So we will be seeing Humbug finish up this steed in just a few minutes at this point. Basically just mirroring and going over to going over to the Lumberjack Cave. Let's see if he does what Zelda did. Yep. This is something I hadn't considered until I saw it, but yeah, of course you flute to 8 here. I always forget about that silly portal.
Yeah, I use it as well. I saw someone do it. I think it might have been Goomba or something like that, maybe in like a while ago or whatever. But I'm not necessarily convinced it's even that much faster. I've never timed it out, but I'm assuming somebody in this community's timed it out.
Yeah, it seems faster than fluting to 3 and dashing.
Yeah, exactly, and it's more cool. I feel too because you get to use the portal tech, which is often neglected.
Yeah.
I mean, rightfully so. I would say once you get a flute, but.
It's a pretty big part of the NMG route, of course, because you're not allowed to save and quit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole reason Fake Flipper is used in that category, but yeah.
Also, I feel like it has I'm like maybe one of the 3 guys that likes inverted, but in inverted, because of the fact that you're doing long light world chains a lot of the time, using the portals can be very advantageous as well.
Cool. All right. Well, we are now into phase 3 on Ganon for Humbug. That's going to, end up real quick. Oh, that was slightly unnerving from where I'm sitting. I'm sure Humbug felt like he was in complete control of the situation. And there it goes. One dead Ganon.
Nice, clean double silver finish.
Toil and or trouble as well.
And GG's to Humbug.
Finishing with an official time of 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 4 seconds. Well played to Humbug, and that's going to be 2 wins for this series and carry Humbug into the semifinals. That just leaves the match between Wallkicks and Allison. Now, I'm pretty sure that Wallkicks is moving or doing some sort of vacation or something over the next week, so it's going to be a little bit before we see that match. But
Wallkicks ducking Allison confirmed. No, you're absolutely right.
So it's going to be a hot minute, but we will see that eventually, and then then we'll have our setups for the semifinals. We do have one of our semifinals matches set. That's Goomba versus Zelda Disan, and I guess they could theoretically start anytime they wanted. Though I don't know what the tournament admins would want on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a great matchup, though. Goomba, obviously, one of the favorites, if not the favorite in this tournament, in my opinion. Just an absolutely amazing cross-keys player, incredibly smart, incredibly complicated routing strategies that a lot of people doesn't even enter their thought process, myself included. And Zelda Disan, just an absolute beast of execution, really, really good runner at all the modes. I would say probably, maybe he would admit cross-keys is not necessarily his strongest mode, but that doesn't mean he's not good at them. That just means he's so friggin' good at all the other modes. That's going to be a great matchup. And then Humbug versus Wallkicks or Allison. Can't wait to see them. Really looking forward to the end of this tournament. Not because I want it to get over, but because the matchups are going to be so juicy.
So I don't know if either of our runners are going to join us. I'm assuming based on your knowledge of dataplet that he's probably not going to join us. At least not.
Dude, if it would blow my mind if he did, and I absolutely want this to happen, but I think you're probably correct. Or you're repeating what I said earlier is probably correct. But yeah. And I know Humbugg's. I was going to say I know Humbugg's on EU time, but I also know Humbug has joined us in the chat room. GG's, dude.
Thank you, GG.
Yeah, so yeah, your opponent just seemed to be ending up picking up the things at like the worst time. So he avoided the west entrance of desert for a long time, so he wasn't able to get the boots until it was at least an hour into the run, I think.
That was so lucky.
Yeah,
I just went in on a whim, and oh hey, I just got the desert big key. Let's just follow this because it's the last entrance I'll find here on this loop anyway. And then just boop, there's my boots. Okay, sure, why not?
Yeah, dude,
So
you
nice.
hit a great route through there into the boots with the mire dip into the mirror into the shovel hammer combo. You got that really cleanly in the mid game.
Yeah, it felt incredibly nice. Getting all those up until the hammer, I felt really good about how I played the seed. But then I realized, oh hey, I need a castle tower small. Fun. I think I know where this is gonna end up, and sure thing, it did.
Yeah, that was incredibly rude, obviously, and I don't know what your collection rate's going to end up being, but it's going to be quite high. And yeah, just no fun when you're, oh great, I'm looking for one thing. It can be in literally any spot. But we were having a blast watching that seed. The bows, the medallions, the flippers. There was just so many great locations. The lamp.
Come on, 2 bows in pod, please. What
yeah. And one of them, of course, logically bow locked. So it's
yeah,
like,
of course. Why not?
Imagine for 1 second if you'd have mimic clipped.
That would have been hilarious. and sad and at the same time. But yeah, I cursed when I got that. When I got the 3 medallions like back to back in Skull Woods, I laughed. That was funny in another way. Like that couldn't hurt me funny. The bows in pod could have hurt me funny.
Yeah, exactly. And of course the piece de resistance, the Cane of Samaria, and the Meyer Binky being at the top of GT.
Yeah. That was when I climbed, I did not have much left. I had the sweet spots of Thieves Down Big Chest, I think, and I think I had the Swamp Big Chest as well, and a couple of overworld spots like Purple Chest.
Yeah, exactly.
But getting both of those items there, I just wait. That was my literal reaction.
Stupid castle tower small key. And from that point on, you were looking for exactly that. And I think that was probably at like 130 or something into the seed. And so you were just looking for that castle tower small key for the rest of the time.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was just so much open. It was scattered all over the world because I played the seed kind of aggressively. It worked out because I didn't have to double dip that many dungeons. But
all right. So Humbug, we have to point something out, and it pains me to do so.
Please do.
But you might want to go back in your VOD and check what happened when you went into the Stalfos room of GT.
What happened when I went into the Stalfos room of GT? What the hell?
You skipped a chest.
Again?
Again? This is the second time this has happened?
Yeah. Oh my god.
What's
But
funny
what was
is,
in there?
what was in there? The compass of Ganon's tower. Which is the only item that would have told you that you skipped a chest in GT. It was hilarious.
Okay,
great.
Well, I've done that at least once before. Like you know, like when you do that and you actually skip an important item, that's the only times where you actually know that you skip a chest, right?
Exactly.
I've probably done it 10 times. What chest did I
It was
skip?
the bottom right, and you just
The
got
same one as last
Yeah.
time.
You got sidetracked with the Stalfos, and
Yeah.
I think it just killed your muscle memory, right?
God damn it. Okay. Last time it was flippers, so I ended up just forfeiting.
Oof.
Remember that was like a year ago or whatever.
Uh,
Okay. I might just not want to get sidetracked by the Stalfos then.
You just gotta find the compass first, because it's never gonna be in that chest again, right? So
right. That's how probability works, right? Yeah.
exactly. I'm smart. Anyways, we had so much fun watching this race, and then of course to chop it all up at the end, the flute on the green pendant, the TR green pendant with the ice rod in Castle Tower, blocking the second Castle Tower key. Were you just annoyed at that by the end, or how'd you feel?
I registered it, but I was just so... Honestly, I was a bit tired of the seed just being so damn long. Especially 2 seeds in a row where we had these incredibly long seeds. And I just got it, okay, fine. Let's just hope it's not in Hera Basement. Fine.
Exactly.
It would have been funny if it was in Hera Basement though, because then the GT entrance would have been required. But yeah, this was equally trolly somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and it also wasn't after the powder, which was over there, which would have been just super annoying, right?
Yeah. That was my next check after like the Mire area, checking powder and then just getting everything in the dungeons that I skipped.
Makes sense.
I just want to say these 2 seats were my gladiator. Are you not entertained moment? Just saying.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, it was fun for us. I know as a runner, sometimes the longer seeds aren't that fun, and I know you're EU, so it may be a little later. I don't know if you're a crazy schedule dude as well, but I certainly notice when I'm playing late at night, sometimes I'm not as humorable as I am when I'm not so tired. But you had an awesome run again, dude, and definitely you're one of my favorite runners. I feel like you make choices that I like to make. Sort of, we felt like you played really. You said you played aggressive, but we felt you made a lot of responsible plays. You got the Mire stuff. You didn't go right to Mire. You cleared out GT Basement. You played a really clean run. And, you got to take advantage of the good fortune like you got in the middle that let you save a bunch of time on dataplet. So, yeah, that was a really fun watch, and I'm looking forward to you in the next rounds, dude.
Yeah, thank you. That's a high praise.
So
making the same plays as you would have done. I like that.
Yeah, but I'm also like a maniac, right? So I don't know if that is high praise, but like.
So Humbug, who do you want next round? Do you want wall kicks or do you want Allison?
No.
You want no?
Yeah.
I don't know if we could do that for you.
I was contemplating in the Aga fight, because how many blue balls was that? 8? Something like that.
I sure as heck wasn't counting.
I was contemplating menuing to mirror, just to annoy Allison a bit more. I honestly, I'm terrified of both of them. I am. Both of them are West Coast, right? So scheduling is going to be a...
Yep, absolutely.
Anyway, really, I don't want either. Please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be super, super tough.
Just get lucky, forehead, right? That's the plan. You just got to get lucky.
Yep. Go where the items are.
It's kind of a joke at this point, but like it kind of is true. At this level, you do just kind of got to get lucky in some ways.
Yep. Definitely. We've played so, like, dataplet and I have faced each other so many times in this mode. It's a matter of 50-50 decisions, like me going out to desert left instead of the desert right in this case. Yeah, it's always like this. But yeah, it's incredibly fun, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And just the whole, I feel like just I don't want to say the base level, but like the general level of everyone in the Crosskeys community has gotten so good that, the best runners can't just farm anymore. Like you can't take so many people for granted, and it goes way beyond top 16 or whatever like that. But the people that got into the top 16, like, they're good, and even if they're newer or whatever, like, they're good, and if you mess up, you're in trouble, and if you get lucky, you're probably got a good chance, right? So
yeah, that's I mean, Crosskeys just enhances that experience, right? In Rando in general, you don't have, like, I don't consider myself being a player with the best execution, but I've played enough Crosskeys C that I know the logic well enough, and I can, like, keep it in my head. And I feel like doing that, it's something about it that is both less welcoming and more welcoming for new players.
yeah, exactly.
Which sort of makes it so that even new players can kind of quickly become really good at Crosskeys.
Yeah, exactly. You can do some, like, there's a huge steep learning curve where the first few times you play it, it's almost overwhelming. But then as you get more familiar with it, and most importantly, as you develop a tracking system that doesn't take away from your ability to, like, you have no downtime, basically, right?
Yep.
And yeah, and you have good execution, right? I would agree with you. Your execution isn't like elite, but it sure as hell's good enough to win most races if you go to the right spots, right? So,
exactly, and that's all I can shoot for at this point, I feel.
That's the way I feel as well. And I would feel you're probably better than me, but I don't feel like if we're racing that I have no chance or anything like that, because, like you said, this mode, once you get into that zone of being comfortable with the logic and knowing exactly sort of what you want to do, and it's the little things, right? Always having a plan, no downtime, those sort of things. And that's exactly what we saw out of both of you. There's never a point where you're sitting on a pause menu looking where you want to go, unless maybe, that Stalfos chest had come into play. But other than that, it seems like you've got like a 2 and 3 step deep strategy. Is that generally how you run? You got it and then iterate off that? Or what's your general mindset, if you don't mind my asking?
Yeah, I honestly, I'm just gonna put it out. I just switched tracker, actually. And I switched from Seth's tracker that's been passed from player to player since like the beginning of time. But I changed to the one called Rainbowism, I think. It's a bit getting used to, but it for me, it makes it easier to plan ahead. It's a larger tracker, and I can do in better ways, like you described it. Plan ahead, like multiple steps, and like one thing that I'm actually kind of happy about that play that I did here. It was a minor thing, but when I went to GT to climb, I went there in the Dark World because I was expecting to get the book. The book was somewhere. I didn't know where, but I hadn't gotten it yet. And if I was in the Dark World, it would be so nice to just go back into the Dark World and check Bombo's tablet. Those sort of things are what I try to do. They work half the time, basically, but this time it did work. That was nice.
It's really, I agree, and it's like, it's not only planning ahead, but it's knowing what you're likely to find.
Yeah.
And planning what you will do if you find that thing. So if you find it, you might not know exactly what you're going to do, but you know what you're going to do immediately, at least, right? No, that's really smart. I think that's really good advice to anyone looking to take up the game, is like, your execution doesn't have to be the greatest to win in this mode. Sure as heck doesn't hurt, but if you have a plan and you are also flexible with what the items that you find, so that when you find something important, you sort of already know what you're going to do with it, and sort of being, like you said, keeping the logic in your head, so not only am I looking for something, but I'm probably going to find the hammer next. So when I find the hammer, what is my next 3 plays going to be off that? That's exactly what I like to strive for. And I agree with you. I love those little intricate routing things that a lot of people, like, I like to think I pay close attention. I didn't notice that, but it makes total sense, right? Yep. You're saving that time, because if you find the book, what do you got to do? Well, then I'm going to flute 4. I'm going to run over there. I'm going to run down and check the book. That's a ton of lost time, right? So,
I mean, I did notice you were checking the Bombo's tablet at that point. It did not occur to me that you were doing it immediately after leaving GT. Yeah, that helps. That's real good. Okay.
Alrighty.
Sounds like we have pretty much covered it. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap it up here?
I mean, I'll just step in and say GG's Humbug and dataplet one more time. Awesome run by dataplet in the tournament. He got off to a hot start. His comes to an end next to a great runner like Humbug, and we just look forward to seeing you in the next round, my man.
Yeah, thanks. And yeah, like you said, GG's to dataplet. It's fun facing off against a teammate. I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, GG's, and see ya in the next round, I guess.
GG indeed. Also, just quick recommendation. Hope for Allison, the odds of him messing up are a lot higher. Just because it's Allison.
We don't
Wow.
say that out loud, Trez.
I do. I do.
We keep
I
that
do
behind
all
the
the.
surface.
I do it all the fucking time. I don't care.
Oh.
Trez will fire all of the shots because
I
that's what he does.
also do it in 4 different communities by now. I don't care.
I've never clipped something, but I'm clipping that and I'm DMing it to him. Let's get this started.
Let's go. I'm game.
The trash talk is going to be.
Send me the link so I can put it on Twitter. All right. I hope you all enjoyed the show. GG again to Hamburg and to dataplet. Great quarterfinals. Great seats, if I may say so myself. At least to watch. To play. Also, GG to our volunteer team, to Dr. Bobtastic, to Frostbite, to Lady Laurelinda, and to Xavier X on tracking. I hope you all enjoyed the show. That's it for now. For today, actually, for the Crosskeys Tournament, there's gonna be another match tomorrow at 2 Eastern. That's gonna be Zelda with Illis.
I don't think it is because I think he took that series last time.
Oh yeah, you're right. That actually is over and out. That's a valid point. So no Crosskeys schedule for tomorrow. We're gonna be back as soon as possible though, because we want to wrap up this tournament. Although for me this could take all year, but hey, nobody's listening to me. Thank you all for watching, and take it easy, everybody.